Linda Dvorkin with Fox411.com movie reviewer Justin Craig. This is your Fox 411 Big Screen. Liam Neeson is back in action for A Walk Among the Tombstones, a dark, gritty, revenge-fueled flick. Justin, tell us about it.
Well, Liam Neeson plays Matt Scudder, and he is one of crime fiction's most famous detectives. This film is based off of a book by Lawrence Block, who is also one of the most famous crime writers living today. And in this story, Scudder is hired by Dan Stevens from Downton Abbey fame to find the people who kidnapped and murdered his wife. And in this investigation, Scudder uncovers a series of serial killings that happened in the past that have led up to this, and they all have been related to previous drug kingpins, and Dan Stevens in this plays a drug kingpin. So it becomes this whole, not personal revenge film for Liam Neeson's character. He's a hired hand here, so it's a little bit different than his previous films where he's like, I'm going to go get everybody that pissed me off. So not this time. He's a little bit even-keeled, and he's just working for money this time.
Yeah, he's doing this for somebody else.
Yep.
But how does it compare overall? Yes, that's how it compares in the story, but people are going to see Liam Neeson back in action. So is this a departure from what we usually see in any way?
It's only a departure in that Liam Neeson is calmer. He's not angry Liam Neeson this time. And although I got to say,
he's still doing
he has
damage.
a beard this time. At least in the beginning of the film, he has this crazy beard, and it's just the best part of the whole movie. But the movie overall is pretty good. I mean, it's directed by Scott Frank, who wrote, he's a great writer, and he's written many thrillers in the past, so he's well-versed in this, like Minority Report, great film. And then one of my favorites, which is Kenneth Branagh's Dead Again, which is from the early 90s. Great movie, too. So he knows what he's doing, and he adapted this book, but he kind of, he just kind of took out all the sharpness to the story and kept it just so kind of like predictable and even keeled, kind of like how Neeson plays his character. And we see these types of films and stories on cable a lot now, which I think do so much better, like shows like Luther, or the BBC does this so well. But so we've come to to expect like twists and turns in these types of stories, and they don't really find that here. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was expecting to be, wowed at the end, and I wasn't.
The look of the film.
Yes.
Talk about that. I know you want to talk about that.
Oh yeah. So I mean, I love 1970s New York-based crime films. That's probably my favorite genre, and this captures that really, really well. I mean, it's very hard to capture New York City looking gritty today because it's so sanitized and everything is very corporate looking.
Yes.
So they went out to Brooklyn and shot this all in Brooklyn. They found all these old, gritty parts of Brooklyn to shoot in, especially that beautiful, famous cemetery.
Because the story is set in...
Yeah, in Brooklyn.
No. What year?
Oh, 1999. So right before Y2K. Right before Y2K, and that, I'm sure, plays a bigger role in the book. Not so much in this. It's just this thrown-in detail, maybe to show that people are so much more afraid of their computers and lifestyles falling apart than actual serial killers going out there and kidnapping you. So anyway, the film looks great, and it really harkens back to those movies like Death Wish with Charles Bronson. That's probably the best comparison to this movie is Death Wish, and it's fun to watch, and it really brings you back into that time. And you just can't lose with Liam Neeson.
Yeah, definitely. So do you recommend it?
I do recommend it.
Okay.
It's not a bad film. It's just not, it's not going to take you beyond your expectations.
Thank you so much, Justin. Appreciate it, as always. And, of course, comment and tweet us at Fox411 to let us know your thoughts on this and all of this week's new movies. As always, thanks so much for joining us.